Yeah, it's recording. Good. All right. Hi. Okay, we're gonna finish the job. I got bearings. Nothing was moved. Everything should be right where it was when I left it. I messed around with my SEX10 original there, the Betty. I lowered the KV on that guy because I took it out to the course. I redid my yard course for those of you who've seen it before. It is now more difficult, which Relic is probably going to be on in a few minutes. Well, not a few minutes, but later on, as soon as I get the job done. So I went to my favorite local hobby store, Action Hobby, and I got two bearings because I usually buy sleeves of them, which are only a couple dollars more than buying two, but they were sold out. So I bought these, and then Pat Chunder, is you locals will know him, calls me the next day. Hey, I just got bearings and you still need a sleeve? I'm like, no, but I'll get it just later. All right, so we're putting the transmission back together. There's still a nut in the thing. I got beer. This is, I don't want to say who, but one of my viewers here locally, I contacted, and they knew I was out of beer, and they felt for me, and so they bought me some beer. And I love them, and I thank them. And I love you guys too. Thank you. You guys have been awesome to me lately. That thank you button, you guys are actually using it. I didn't expect very much out of it, but you guys are awesome. So thank you so much for doing that. It really helps me out. I don't want to bitch and complain too much, but I'm almost back on my feet and I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, so what we're going to do, I've popped out all the bearings from the shell, I do believe. Yep, the shells are clean as they're going to get. I'm going to start at the bottom. And same thing again, I love this thing. You guys have mentioned it. This thing is awesome. I highly recommend it. Because marine grease is a necessity if you're a trail guy. Because for me, I'm addicted to water. I love water. I'm going into water. So I always use marine grease. It makes it easier to disassemble later, and it also makes the bearings last longer. And the disassembly later is kind of a big thing, because, well, so was them lasting longer, but man. Disassembly, you guys remember from the last video, was quick and easy. I was really happy about that. It was great. We're going to do that. So I put some grease on the output, the bottom part. I'm going to grease where the bearing sits on both sides of the shell. I grease everywhere. Back in the day, when I first started out, guys always told me that you can over grease a transmission, and then it doesn't, I gotta get the molly hair out of there, and it doesn't always work properly if you over grease. You got to do a lot of grease if you're going to over grease. So that guy's going to sit in that half because I can't remember which is front and back at the moment. There's the pin that brought the old bearing out, which slides right off because the marine grease did its job. So that feels fantastic. That middle gear is still pretty good, so we're going to use that again. And again, there's a ring in the center of this. So this is the idler gear, I believe it's called, and that's the one that goes into the center of the transmission. There's a little lip in the middle, like a divider or a stop or whatever you want to call it. Put a tiny bit of grease all the way around on both sides. There's that accent again. Do that. Then I will put a bearing on the pin. I put that in from one side. I can't stop doing it. Oh shit! I got it. Used to be a goalie. Got good leg reflexes. I'm buzzed. I'm normally a Keystone Light drinker. That's my beer of choice for the last few years. I was Coors Light for many years. I do love my beer, but I'm a lightweight. It doesn't take much to get this guy drunk. So if you got, fuck, Lyle's hammered. Yeah, he's had 4 beer. But I think this is my third, and it's a 5%, and 5% in Canada is borderline whiskey to you guys down in the States, I think. Which is fantastic. I think that's hilarious, the difference when it goes from country to country. Still find that funny. Plug that guy in. Oh wait, we're going to do to this side. We're going to plug that guy in, And then, like I was mentioning in the last video, I do have a new top gear. Hopefully, now I'm really hoping this comes out clear, because this gear is very worn. And of all the 3 gears in the transmission, this is the one that goes the fastest. So it's good to have these. Now this one is just the drive gear, but you can also buy the drive gear with the new shaft. I don't need a new shaft now, and some of you may be asking, well, why would you need a new shaft? Did you break it? No. What I call it when this happens is called snowmanning. I don't know if that's proper. That's what I've been calling it for years. So what happens is the bearings ride right there on the outside. That sits into the casing, and there's a bearing that goes there, and there's another bearing that sits about yay. And you'll actually see dips, because the bearing will seize up, and the race will rotate on the metal and wear this down. So actually, again, I call it snowmanning. So you'll put it together, and you'll put the spur gear on, and put the transmission, or put the transmission together, put the spur gear on. The spur gear still has play, and you're like, man, it's brand new gears and brand new bearings. Why is there still play? It's because the shaft is no longer solid. The shaft is now, it looks like a snowman. So we're going to change that guy out, and hopefully, again, the camera will pick it up, the difference between the two, because it is large. Where did I put that? All right, come on, light. We got this. You guys see the wear difference? Get a little closer even. See the difference in the wear? These teeth are much beefier than these guys. Look at my girly little fingers. So yeah. That guy goes in there. And we slide this guy onto the original shaft, because this shaft is still good. I have no reason to change it. I'm still happy with it. Now we bust open. I had a choice of axial or Traxxas bearings, and I slightly leaned towards the Traxxas. I didn't look at price. These were $5 here, $5.19 Canadian after taxes. It was a little over $700. We'll get these guys in there. And yeah, I just had better luck with Traxxas over the axial, but normally I buy APS bearings. That's my go-to. I know a lot of guys love Fast Eddie and all that. It's just not my wheelhouse right now, if you know what I'm saying. We got that. Some grease. Love grease. That guy's going to go in there. And we're going to put that guy. Okay, hold on. I got to think. So I left the screws in this just to help tell me later which way things go. So that's going to go in. The plate's going to be over there, which means the motor's over there, which means this guy's going in here. Right? Yeah, because the spur gear is going to be out there. That's right, that's right. Good times. Yeah, I got everything going good. So, again, you grab the marine grease. I'm going to put a healthy bead on the lower part, on the output gear. On the outside of the bearings. Everything gets grease. There's little cracks here and there. You just jam it in pretty much everywhere you can. You can even give it a spin. With I only got the 2 in there so far. You can give that a spin and just see how much goes around to different places. And yeah, she's getting packed in there pretty good. And then, because I got this one on this side, I'm going to give this a quick round. Something I didn't do, which sometimes you need to do, is inspect the each individual crevice of each gear. I'll take a pick and I'll slide it through each one. I don't need to do that this time because no bearings exploded. Because usually you do that if a bearing explodes and all the little balls get crammed in there and they actually cause skipping and stuff like that. So when this goes together, it should be nice and smooth. Feels good? Yeah, there's nothing in those teeth. They're good. Alright. Push that back out. Ugh. Those... I always start with the nut and bolt, which is still in the plier. Oh, my little Ryobi, the 4-volt. I remembered last time that it was starting to slow down, so it's on the charger. Let me grab that. underwear. Ah, there we go. A little bit of a butt hungry incident. Need a 2.5 mil. I believe that's it right there. That guy. Da screw. Da nut. Da molly. That goes in. Let's go motor plate. Now this is the one I was talking about last time, where this is like the only thing that I do without the drill, because even my own hands, I don't trust it. And again, if you burn that plate, or if you strip out that plate, your whole transmission's useless, and you can't get a bigger screw and put a nut on the other side, because that's where the spur rotates. There it is. Loctite. There's some. So I have different, like 3 or 4 different bottles of Loctite. I don't swear by any of them. I don't like the Dynamite one, but anyone else that I've used, like this particular one, came in a RC 4-wheel drive kit. I can't remember what vehicle it came with or what parts it came with. Come on. There it is. It's just this little, it's almost like a gel. So all I do is, it's nice because you can just dip the head of the screw into it, or the tip of the screw into it. And there, Loctited. No problem. This only goes on one way, which is helpful after a couple beer. That guy goes on like that. Oh, I forgot the spacers. Spacer. Spacer. You're pushing the marine or the Loctite down. There's still Loctite on the tip, and you don't need much. I said the tip. You don't need much. Loctite is awesome. Just kind of hold that gently over the screw heads. And I gotta get this guy out here. Off the tool for, that's my 1.5 that I'll probably need for something. I can't remember what at the moment. Excuse me. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, shit. This doesn't need to go crazy snug, just snug enough. And it's really hard to tell, you know, without having some kind of gauge to tell me you put this many pounds on it. I doubt if it's a pound, but just enough. And because the Loctite is going to hold it in there good, that's basically what you need to get done. Spacer pieces for the spur gear. There's 2 of them. One is a spacer for the depth of how far the spur gear goes back, and the other one supports that spacer. So you put the little one on first and then the big one. Actually, I don't even know what that matters. And then again, I don't run the pin style anymore. I run this style of, I don't even know what you call that. But the spur is going to go on that. You don't even need to screw it to it like a slipper clutch assembly. So this eliminates the slipper, this piece. So you slide that on, that goes right onto the flat shaft. That goes right onto the flat shaft. Come on, get on there. Do it. Can't stop the shaft from spinning because it's too loose. Just going to put one on. No, that's not going to work. I feel like I'm failing again. Come on, get in there. Oh! I fucked up. I don't know if any of you guys caught it, but I put that together with only one bearing on the top. That's why it wasn't going in, because the shaft is all sideways. Like, why isn't this going together? Because I'm a dumbass sometimes. I'm in too much of a hurry, because there's still one brand new bearing sitting there, and it's like, ah, idiot. So get that off there. Spacer, spacer, spacer. Side cutter. Awesome. That comes off. I gotta do this again. Sorry. And yeah, I'm probably gonna keep this footage because hell, why not? Everybody makes mistakes. I just tried to create a joke because I do it at work all the time or with my friends or whatever. No personal joke towards anyone, but I'm just going to use Joe. So everybody makes mistakes. Me, you, Joe's parents, they all make mistakes. I love that joke. Nothing personal, Joe, you know I love you. Actually, I don't even know if that guy watches anymore. On the rare occasion, I think he does. You know, I take that back. Joe does tell me that he does watch sometimes. He's just a really busy guy. Like when it comes to busy people, Joe's way up there. Come on, get on there. Alright. That's already coated with grease, but we're going to give it another shot on the outside. Nice. Now this goes back on. Line up all the screws. Come on. Now it's got to get back into the... I should double check, make sure that... Yeah, that's clean. I've tried to put transmissions back together and forgot to take one bearing out. So I'm like angry with it, trying to get it to go back together, and it just won't go. It's like, oh yeah, there's still another bearing in there. Fuck. This thing again, this thing again. That on there. So now, assembly attempt number 2. That guy. La plate. Oh, spacers again. Spacer. 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 Oh, why isn't that going on? Just needs a little bit of convincing. This will do it. Alright. There it is. Excuse me. Excuse it. Hold that gently over the screws. And just a wee bit snug. That guy. Alright. This should go smoothly now. That guy goes on. That guy goes on. Oh, and this guy goes on. That's supposed to be on the inside? I think I screwed up again. Oh God. I love beer. It's fantastic. Okay, so plate's coming back off. This is how you create minutes on a YouTube video. You just make mistakes over and over again. And the video gets longer and longer because I was thinking earlier, because when I first get home, I got to sit outside for a little while and hang out with Molly because she's slightly demanding lately because I got her back in shape, or she's not back in shape yet, but she's in better shape than she was. She was a little bit fat, and one of my friends fat shamed her. I'm like, oh man, what the hell? He's like, well, she's fat. I'm like, well, geez, don't say it to her face. So yeah, I changed Molly's exercise routine a bit. I started playing fetch and tug of war and wrestling with her more. I don't walk her because my neighborhood is scary as fuck. There are some loose pit bulls hanging around, and one of them either wants to eat or shag Molly really badly. So I don't do the walking thing. I take her out camping when I can, which hasn't been a lot lately. But yeah, with the playing fetch, she used to, I think the record was like 3. There, that went on nicely that time. I think her record was something like, no, it was like 7. And now she plays for as long as she can, and I mean hours, 2 or 3 hours some nights, and she's just so happy. So that's good. That goes on like that. This goes on like so. Usually, oh no, there's no slipper clutch, so I should be able to tighten this up. No problem. Where did that go? 7 mil. 5, no. Oh, that one's really worn. That's got to be it. Nope. 7. Put that guy on. Hope I don't tear up my fingers. That doesn't have to be crazy tight, because remember, there's no longer a slipper, so there's no spring or nothing. The nut's just holding that on, and then it's a direct drive into the transmission. So it's eliminating a weak point is really what it does, but Relic's built like a freaking tank, so I'm not overly worried about that. So you remember before I spun the transmission in the last video, and you can hear it spun almost loosely, like it had no resistance in it at all? Like, it won't spin freely now because it's full of grease, so but it spins very smoothly. Like, can you even hear that? Probably not. It's great. Okay, motor's already in the truck. Let's put drive shafts on. Or the motor's dangling from the truck. It's not in the truck, obviously, because it's going to get attached to this guy. That one. And that one. And this is another one where I don't care if there's a little bit of crap built up on the end of the drive shaft, because that is where shit wants to get into the transmission all the time. Because I drive in water all the time. That's not going to stop anytime soon. So like that. I got my gloves, my 2 mil. Out comes the Loctite again. Pardon. Those in there. Another one. Ooh, that's a lot of Loctite. We'll put a little bit of Loctite on that guy because I got too much on this one. Put that in there. Just trying to look in the light, make sure I got on the flat spot because that grub didn't go in all the way. No, that's a flat spot grub. Yeah, so I got the outputs don't have holes in them. So I got different grubs to do different things. Or not different things, but different styles of grubs. So that one's a pin style. That one's going to go in there. That was cut off. And ooh, I didn't go. This guy's going to go in there. Got Loctite on it already. That should be good. Seal that up. I'll be right back because I gotta pee. Okay, I'm back. I guess we need Relic at this point. Now, some of you are probably thinking, and almost maybe even typing already, that put the motor on now, it's easier. Not always, and I'll show you why. There's the man. So the motor's still attached to the ESC, just kind of dangling off to the side. Little screws to the outside. Transmission faces this way. The drive shafts I maybe could have put on after. This way is kind of complicated, but I've done it so many times that it's not so bad for me because I know how to hold it to get it back in there. But yeah, sometimes it's easier to put the transmission in first and then put your drive shafts on after. My 2 mil should be I think it's these guys. Yeah. The screws are different lengths on the transmission. You got to keep an eye on that. The little ones go on the outside. Because the plate is thinner there. That's the reason why. And I don't cinch all of them up. I just get them, I don't know, 2 or 3 threads in to begin with. That way you can still kind of wiggle the transmission a bit. But sometimes you get 3 in there tight. And, yeah, that's what she said. Sometimes you get 3 in there tight. And the 4th one just doesn't want to line up for some reason. Sometimes that kind of crap happens. I feel like my throat is getting dry. Thank God I have beer. Thanks to you-know-who. Well, he knows who. You guys don't know. Some of you could probably take a solid guess. I won't tell you if you're right or wrong. But in a way, you've all contributed to me buying beer. Alright, those are... Yeah, I'm not using the tool on this one either, because this is another one where you strip out the transmission case, and it sucks. So now if you get a new transmission case, which is only a couple bucks, but it's spending the time to do it all again. So be gentle with these guys. Yeah, that'll do it. So that's in there. Now the motor, sitting in place, about yay. Turn it like this. All kinds of zip ties and stuff holding this, all the wires in places. Because again, Relic doesn't have a lot of rooms. The guys have mentioned before about sound kits and stuff. I'm like, I'm not big on sound kits. Sometimes they work out good, like a semi truck. The boys were on the semi run there last night, I think it was. And yeah, totally, pretty much required for a semi truck. This is the reason why I don't mind putting in the transmission first and then the motor after. This tool is awesome. It's just a tech choice. It's a whatever. It's just a 1/4 inch driver, and then the bits fit into the end of it, and you can go all the way from the back of the truck and get that in there. The only difficult part now is trying to see where the screw holes are. Did I nail it on the first try? Ha! Did. Okay. Oh, sometimes that happens. The bit stays in the hex, or the bit stays in the screw. That's no problem. There's a little old magnet in there, and it doesn't have the same power it used to. Oh, and motor screws, you definitely want a washer on there. Definitely, because if you don't, you'll end up pitting the plate, because it's just soft aluminum, right? So you put a washer on there and it doesn't pit the aluminum. So if you do change your pinion, you can rotate the motor a slight bit, and then it'll still be a flat surface. Because if you let it get pitted, the motor's always going to want to drop back to that spot. And not only is your mesh no longer accurate, but the motor will now be loose as well. So you're either going to burn the spur gear or your pinion. Now I set mesh. Mesh, when I first started out, guys did the piece of paper thing. I think that was okay for 48 pitch, but now with 32, I just get it in there and I just rotate the spur gear back and forth gently. As soon as there's play, like the middle, for me, like everyone's different, I think, when it comes to this, maybe. But I make it so it's just enough play to say there is play. And I don't burn spurs, I don't burn pinions. They wear over time, but not quickly. Come on. You want to give them a decent snugging. I've never stripped a motor, so I don't know how hard you can actually put the screw in to the motor hole. Is that that's what she said? Sure, why not? That's what she said. Just enough so it's there. Jesus, we're ready for a test. It just came out of nowhere. Alright, battery. I'm still running the HBR 3300 mAh, 3-cell, of course. I believe they're 50C regular with 60C regular discharge with a 120 burst. I love these bats. On Amazon in Canada, or not, yeah, up here I pay $80 for 2 of them. And I got them last year, and yeah, they've definitely stood up the test of time. So yeah, I'll back HBR batteries. I think they're great. Get this on there. Oh, and somebody asked in the previous video or on Instagram, one of the two, I can't remember, I think it was the previous video, what body is Relic? I'll show you real quick the original. It is a Parma, it is a 1934 Ford. Of course, what I'm about to show you is with a paint job. As soon as I find it, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. So this is how Relic starts out. With the full body, it's got the full fender flares. Now again, this is painted by a friend of mine here in Calgary, so picture this as a clear Lexan. My buddy did that, he did that, he did a really good job. Really good job. I just haven't found a vehicle I can put this on yet. I was hoping to put it on a drifter or a street racer one day. It's probably still going to happen, but it's been on the shelf for years. But that's how Relic starts out. So I have to cut off the back, and then cut out the fenders, and then cut out the side pieces here for the shock hoops. And he ends up looking like that. That's all that's left of that body after I do that to it. But again, that's a Parma 34 Ford. And yeah, I don't mind at all if 100 people go out and buy it and copy Relic. Because that's one of the greatest things about RC is I don't like saying I inspire people or I'm an influencer, because I don't think my numbers are anywhere near close to that. But I know a lot of people have kind of said that to me in the past, and those kind of words are really appreciated, but I just don't know if I'm actually there yet. Alright. Why is the steering not straight? What did I do? I didn't touch the steering. Oh yeah, I did. Okay, don't worry about the steering. Ah, shit. I should fix that right now. Okay. The intensity, I haven't even throttled up yet. Where's my Phillips? Is this guy? I need... Nope, this guy. So I probably just didn't center the horn properly. That's what I'm going to guess. You pull the screw out. So with the remote on, this is what you should do anyways every time you take the servo off. Or the servo horn off. Because this is how I disassembled the front end. I take the servo horn off and I take off the C-hubs. Then the whole front assembly comes off. I don't like dealing with taking tires off and then pulling the axle shafts. I think it's a waste of time. Just do it like these. Just do a better job of assembly than I did first time around. Ah, I'm dry, Jesus. And some of you may know I'm normally a Keystone light drinker, but I went to the liquor store and I said, give me the cheapest, well, you know, not give me, you have to shop yourself, but what is your cheapest 15% or 5%, what is your cheapest 15 pack? And he's like, Alberta Ice is on sale for $14.99. I'm like, what? That sounds fantastic. That's what I'm drinking right there right now. Alberta Ice, that's 5% alcohol. I usually drink Keystones, which I think is 4.2. Oh, I dribbled. So Lyle's buzzed. Are you ready? Most of that noise is pinion and spur, because I run the metal spur button. God, that sounds so much better. Jesus. Oh. Let me change this the other way so you guys can see a little more what I'm seeing. Just doing the drag test, that's what I call it. After I assemble stuff, I try and make sure everything's tight. Oh, excuse me. Oh yeah, it's not fighting at all. It'll do a slow roll nicely. Take it for a test run, you say? Okay. I'm not going to a trail tonight because I've had a couple beer. And plus, actually this is a good time to mention it. I'm going to put Relic back together while I'm talking. And then we're going to go outside to my yard course, which recently was changed. And somewhere, you have a yard course? Yeah, I don't film it much because it's kind of small. And depending on your truck, sometimes can be easy. But Recovery Mike and I were sitting around there last week or so talking about it. And I'm like, yeah, we can revamp it. We can do something else with it. So I picked out a section and then we changed that section up. So it's a little bit more difficult now, and Relic's going to hit it in a moment. As soon as I get this all ready to go, notice I'm taking the pick out and I'm cleaning out the screw head for the body post mount because it is loose. Oh, apparently it's a Phillips. Tighten that up a bit. Okay. So that's why the big cutouts are on Relic's body, and I have to pinch it like that to get it around the metal bars. Again, this is built by a friend Brian, Team Stan. No longer with us. Miss that guy all the time. Very creative, very talented. It's a sad waste he's gone. Relic was the second truck he built. For those of you who are wondering, Relic is 8.5 years old. I checked out my YouTube the other day. I think I started to mention that the other day, or in the last video, but then I trailed off because I'm good at that. But Relic is 8.5 years old. I think it's March 8th is his birthday. And he'll be 9 next year. It's my boy. Almost as old as Molly. And yeah, if you go back to old videos when Relic first started, because I watched Relic's first trail run there just a couple days ago. And there, Bill the Goat was there, Louie was there, Ted was there, I think Tyler was there as well. I'm not sure if Joe and where's Relic's pins? I'm not sure if Joe and Rookie were there. I don't think they were. But I'm going to use the other pins. Somebody else's pins. What did I do? Ah, they're gone. But Crawler Ted is on there. And he has no facial hair. So if you're used to seeing Crawler Ted with a goatee and stuff, I highly recommend going back to approximately, well, I guess exactly, March 8th, was it 2013? 2013, I think, was the year. When I watched it, I was like, oh my god, because Ted did not look like Ted. And I didn't do any selfies that day, so you won't see what I look like. But you wouldn't recognize me because I have aged poorly. If you go back to any videos, even 5 years ago, Bill the Goat sent me a picture, I think last summer or the summer before. And the picture is from 5 years ago. I look 25. Now I look 55. I'm 44. To the outdoors. Alright, so anyone who's seen my course before, that's the biggest new section. Oh yeah, that's nice. Except for that grass. A little bit of dog shit. Oh man. I can't explain how good this feels. Oh, I sound so much healthier and everything's working properly. There's Molly. I knew I'd get it eventually. Haha. Love that slate motor. Oh, a rock just moved. Oh, in a hole. Interesting to know. Oh, I don't want that. Uh-oh. Oh. Steering linkage catcher. There it is. Back up. What you doing, Molly? Hi, baby. Are you eating grass? Are you a cow? Are you a cow? Maybe part goat? Is that good grass? Sucky dog. Hi, baby. Oh, I almost hit the poop. That feels awesome. Alright, that's going to be it for the fixing and running of Relic. I got one sticky shock. I might change that shock. It's been happening the last few runs. I thought it'd loosen up, but it doesn't. It's sticking. It's just axial shocks in the rear, G-mate on the front. I think I've answered pretty much everything I can think of that people have been asking me about this guy. I hope that this video showed the quality of what a SEX10 Gen 1 is, because I'm not going to knock too hard on the 2s and 3s. I think they are more brittle than the Gen 1s, but they are more capable. So it depends on how you drive. An SEX10 2 or 3 could be better for you than a 1. But these are as tough as nails, and you can do anything you want to them. You can find them on Kijiji or Facebook or whatever for usually a couple $100. And they're totally worth it, and you can still get parts for it. I've had people tell me you can't get parts for them anymore. That's a lie. You just got to go out and look for them. So I'm really happy I got this done. I'm sorry the lights aren't on. I just didn't plug them in. I should have done it. I just don't feel like doing it again because, yeah, I'm lazy. Thanks for checking this out. Thanks for hitting the like button. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all of it. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for watching. And Molly says hi. You big baby.